I have a confession. There are times when I have bought things trying to save money in the long run and ended up spending a lot more. So, I'm going to talk to you about five of those categories that I have identified I need to be more vigilant in thinking about when I'm making purchases. This can sometimes be called frugal fails, but it's money saving ideas that actually cost you more in the long run. So, let me tell you about them. The first one is when you only buy cheap food. Now, you might think, well, prices are expensive. And yes, Jennifer, you don't have to spend a lot and still have fresh foods. But what people end up doing is going to the middle of the grocery store and buying maybe boxed meals or meals that are pre-made, things that are have longer shelf lives. What you need to realize is yes, they might be less expensive, but the more a food is processed, the hungrier it actually makes you. So when you're eating it, you don't become full. You want more. So when you eat more, then you actually end up spending more. So just think about the last time you had maybe a individual size of potato chips. Did you feel full or satisfied after you ate them? Or were you thinking, I really wish there was more at the end of this bag, or maybe I want something sweet, some chocolate would be really good right now. But the last time you maybe had a banana or some cheese and maybe little pepperonis or some fruit, vegetables, you thought, I'm feeling really full because they make you more full. Also, don't forget the health benefits. Yes, those more whole foods might be more expensive right now, but your health can be expensive if you have health issues, meaning medical bills. Earlier in the year, I started having health issues, medical bills rolling in from it. I won't go into detail of it, but what I realized was there were things that I had fallen off the bandwagon of doing. One, drinking as much water as I needed to, and I thought, duh, I'm not helping myself out here. I need to get back on track. One thing that we can't get back is time. Time is very expensive because it is non-renewable, okay? And eating correctly can help us also enjoy the time that we have here. It helps with our energy levels. It helps us to be able to live a fulfilled, beautiful life full of experiences and time with others. So do not underestimate the cost to your health by going cheap on food. Talking about food, one big thing that costs a lot of people money, and they see this and they go, "Oh, this will be so cool. I'm going to do this. This means I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to meal prep." But they make more of leftovers or they meal prep. I mean, you've seen it where you've got boil a whole bunch of chicken, a whole bunch of vegetables, and a whole bunch of rice. And absolutely, there are people that can do that and love it, and it's a great routine for them. But if that is not something that you like to eat on repeat, then what you're going to do is it's going to sit in the fridge. You're going to have wasted your time and wasted your money and wasted your food because when at the end of the day, when you get home and you've got little motivation to remember the good intentions you set on Sunday when you did that meal prepping, you're going to end up calling for pizza. Do not do that to yourself. If you want to meal prep, then do so based on what you know you will eat and consume. Prepare things. For me, we don't prepare meal prep five of the same meal. We will cook 3 dinners a week, 4 dinners a week, and we will make two, maybe one or two extras out of that meal so that we have one or two leftovers. That way there's a rotation because we know we will get tired of certain foods. So remember how well would apply to meal prepping if that's something you want to do. What is the most efficient way for you to do it when you know there might be a situation where you don't have the motivation to eat that thing? I think that number three is the area where people waste the most money, and it is the fact that they go in and buy the cheapest item with no thought to quality itself. And this isn't just for clothing, which might be one of the things that you think of offhand, but it's that way too. You look at fast fashion or going and buying something extremely cheap, going, oh, I can get 3 shirts instead of just one. It doesn't always help you. Now, that's not to say that quality has to cost a lot, but think about it in the way of cost per use. So you're looking at a t shirt. Is it a better idea to spend $30 to $35 on a t-shirt that will last you 3 to 4 seasons? Or is it better to spend $10 on a t-shirt that lasts you 3 to 4 weeks? You've had that situation, I'm sure, where you've spent very little on a shirt or a pair of pants or any other clothing item, and it just did not retain its color, its shape, it split at the seams after the first or second wash. You didn't get much use out of it. It's more than just clothing. You think about this: if you buy cheap cookware, you buy a cheap nonstick pan, you're going to end up eating the stuff that's in the pan because it's going to come off quickly. You've got to think about things that last long term. Now, this doesn't, again, as I mentioned, mean that you have to focus solely on price being equal to quality. But when you think about this, feel fabric, read reviews, buy brands you know that you have been happy with in the past that have good reputations for lasting long. So, the way to look at this as a whole is spend twice as much, but buy half as much. You do not need 3 to 4 of those shirts. One great one would be better than spending the same amount or less on 3 to 4 that are not going to last you and aren't going to give you the look that you want. Meaning, what you'll find when you buy better quality is you look more polished, you look more tailored. It just makes you feel better. The fabric is better. Focus on the quality versus focusing solely on what's the least expensive. I know the excitement of signing up for a warehouse membership, think Costco, Sam's Club. You go in and you just want to buy everything. But this is number 4 on my list. It is the time that you could go in and buy something in bulk thinking you're going to get a great deal, but end up wasting a lot of money. You go into one of these places, we have a Costco membership, but we try to use it wisely. We know the things that are a good deal for us. We are a family of 3. We're not going to go in there and buy a huge thing of fruit because we know that it's not going to get eaten as quickly. We aren't going to go in there and buy bulk lasagnas. We would have to freeze a lot of it. Yes, we might do that occasionally. If you have a large family, you might easily go through that kind of food. But when you think about bulk buying, you need to make sure that it is an item that will last longevity, so has a longer shelf life. Again, especially if you are a smaller family. Larger families really do get a really good deal out of these bulk warehouses because they go through the food quickly and they don't have to worry about expiring. But if you're a smaller family like us, it might look tempting to buy all these things in bulk, but if you end up sitting them on the shelf and they go bad, you don't get it in time. Maybe you did buy the vegetables and the fruit, but you forgot to put it in the freezer or prepare it before it went bad. That is wasted money that you could have just as easily taken down the garbage disposal. Now, number 5 is one area where people get very rigid and they don't want to budget for this. It is something that is super important because we're still here living life, right? You hear all the time people say frugality is no fun. Not true. True frugal people budget for fun. Never having fun, spending time doing something fun, buying something fun is important. So you might think that that's the way to do it. Nope, we can't have any fun. We have to strictly do this. We can never splurge. We can never buy any of our wants. That is going to backfire quickly. Burnout is a real thing. All work and no play typically fails. Then what happens is you end up splurging and you think, oh, well, I'm off the rails now. What does it matter? Keep on going. Not the way to think. How to properly do this: set your budget to have fun money. Okay, so set your budget at the beginning of the month. Automate your savings and go live your life. Don't spend your time with your head stuck in it all the time. You can't constantly sit here and think about saving money, paying down debt every minute of every day. That is not living a life. You need to set it and move on. You have the parameters that you're driving with. That's why you set that budget and you automate that savings. Set an amount for fun money. This is very important. In your budget, set an amount for fun money. Yeah, it might be super low right now. That's okay. There are things you can do for free to have fun. It's being intentional about it. This will not hurt your budget. What this will actually do is help you reach your financial goals because it will help you stick to them rather than hitting that burnout wall. Before you leave, I want to know, when was the last time, if you can remember, that you spent money on something and ended up spending more in the long run, or it was a complete waste? I would love to hear it. Let me know down below in the comments, or just stop in and say hi. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you back for more videos.